Time's up, Holmes.
Our next rock formation is found along the left-hand shoreline as well. You're looking for the farthest outcropping of rock along the shoreline. We call this pulpit rock because it resembles the pulpits used in the early days by the preachers. Now, as pulpit rock comes into view, you'll notice that the left-hand portion has broken up and fallen into the river. This is due to a process of erosion called frost cracking. Water gets inside the cracks and crevices in the sandstone, and when it gets cold, it freezes and expands. Over thousands of years, this expansion of the water will cause a rift to form in the rock, and it will eventually break off. This is done with pulpit rock. Now, usually we use pulpit rock as a reference. If you look off to the left-hand side of the boat, you'll see a green and white vehicle. That's an original World War II Wisconsin duck. Those vehicles were used during World War II to transport men and supplies from ship to shore. They're now used as a fun and adventure ride here along the lower Dells, giving a half-land, half-water tour. They're six-wheel drive and turn a 21-inch prop. The state of Wisconsin recognizes about 10 Native American or Indian tribes, some of those being the Chippewa, the Oneida, and the Winnebago. The Winnebago were the predominant tribe along this portion of the lower Dells. They were such a large tribe that they divided themselves into clans or totems. The clan that lived along this right-hand shoreline was the Hawk clan. We know this because of our next rock formation. Hawk's Beak can be found by following this right-hand shoreline all the way around until the rocks jet out into the river. You'll see three overhanging ledges. The top ledge forms the top part of the beak. The third ledge, which curves up, forms the lower part of the beak, and the smaller ledge in the middle for the stone tongue. Use your imaginations just a little bit more. Following that top ledge all the way back past those trees, it resembles a backswept wing. Looks like the Hawk is in flight across the Wisconsin River.
It was laid down about 650 million years ago by a shallow inlet sea that geologists call the Cambrian Sea. Now this sea rose and fell several times. Each time it would rise and fall, it would leave a layer of sand and silt on its bottom. After thousands of years of pressure and heat, the layer would convert into a soft and crusty layer of sandstone. The layers would then stack one upon another to create a very large plateau of bedrock found throughout the area. Now this large plateau that was created remained unchanged until about 15,000 years ago, when the last of the great glacial systems came out of the north. It was called the Wisconsin Glacier. It did cover about 90% of the state of Wisconsin. The 10% of this is here in the Dells, and is called the dry or driftless region. The glacier itself never did sit upon the Dells. It split about 15 miles north of here, completely missed the Dells in another part of south-central, southwestern Wisconsin, and rejoined about 2 miles further downstream to continue crushing into Illinois. Now, the portion of that glacier that sat up above the Dells area melted. All the water and debris came off and carved out and chipped away to create our river channel and all the rock formations that we have been viewing along our tour. See the layering effect very well here off to the left side of the boat. That's how it's all laid down by the Cambrian Sea. Now, if you look off to the right of the boat, you're going to notice that there are 10 columns or pillars of stone. Now, those pillars are what's left of a bar that was called the Purple Grackle. It was a stopover point for lumberjacks who were riding down the river. Lumberjacks would come from miles around to ride lumber rafts down this river. They used it as a highway and a mode of transporting large lumber rafts. The Purple Grackle was a place where they could pull on on the beach for a few hours to replenish supplies for their journey downriver. You can't see that building anymore because it did burn down with a forest fire that came through that shoreline about the turn of our century. Now we have a few minutes, so we're down to the Rocky Island region, the most beautiful portion of our Lower Dells tour. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride as we head down there. Thanks.
Minute, and at the highest recorded level of the river reached the top of that sign, and that was on September 14th, 1938, after 9 straight days of heavy rains up in northern Wisconsin. Sliding into view off to the right is the first of 3 beautiful rocky islands. This is called the Sugar Bowl. From an aerial view, it is said to resemble the sugar and creamer sets used during colonial days. To the right of the Sugar Bowl and part of the mainland is Grotto Rock, with the caves of the Nahuna, and then Grotto Rock, with the caves of the Nahuna. Formations that you've seen today were named by Henry Hamilton Bennett. Mr. Bennett was an early pioneer landscape photographer who lived in this area shortly after the Civil War. It is completely hollow. There are a series of caves that run through the inside. If you look off the left-hand side of the boat and all the way through Lone Rock, you'll see what we call Sweetheart's Cave. You can see all the way through. Used to use Lone Rock as a refrigerator. It's about 20 degrees cooler inside. As you look farther downriver, you'll notice that our rocky islands and rock formations end. This is where the glacier came back together and continued crushing its way into Illinois. This is also where we must turn the Chicagoan around. Farther down the river,